Welcome back, everybody. I thought I'd give you a different dotted one. Lots of sparkle on this one. This is a molded stone from Happy Dotting Company. It's one of the 5-inch stones, so it's one of the larger flat stones. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. I've waited a week before working with it after making it, and now I'm using Mod Podge mixed with some very powerful holographic glitter. Now I'm mixing glitter from solarcolordust.com, and I'm going to leave in the description of this video this glitter so that you can see it. I'm going to be using a silver holographic glitter. So you can see right on there, it says solarcolordust.com. They have all sorts of glitter. I wanted to try it out. It's holographic and I love that. So I definitely wanted to try it out, but I accidentally deleted the part where I showed you how to do it. So I'm going to show you how I do it on a different stone using black glitter, but the end result is going to be using the silver. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I do it on another stone, how I actually did the process. But the one that I'm doing is a silver holographic dust. Okay. So what I've done is I cover it with Mod Podge. I sprinkle the solar color dust all over it and make sure it's all covered, completely covered, totally covered. Sometimes you have to do more than one layer. Don't waste any of your glitter. Pull it back up and filter it back into your jar. All the stuff that comes off, brush it off like I'm doing with a nice big wide brush, and then put the leftover back in the jar. So this one is not what yours is going to look like today. Yours is going to look more like, here it is, right there. Now, once you're done the glitter and everything's dry, let it dry and then resin it. Let it dry for at least 15 hours after resining it, and then we have this smooth, shining, magnificent surface to work with. And I've tried to keep the center noticeable because I need the center. So I've made a center dot on top so that I know where I'm going to start working on my dotted mandala or mandala. I say mandala, and some people say that they do too. And I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian or what. I don't know. But yeah, I'm making a really cool, it's got this weird illusion to it, this one. So you're really going to like it. Now I'm using a marker and a compass because pencil won't show up on top of my resin surface. So I'm using a marker so that you guys can see that I've made a circle. And now inside that circle, and I want to kind of keep my center dot, so I'm going to keep a little spot open right there so that I know where my center is. And I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm just going to the edges of where I've put the marker, and I'm covering that all in black. Make sure you wait till it's dry and see if you need to do another coat, because sometimes you can see all that glitter behind the black. So I do 2 coats normally. I did my first coat with a paintbrush. I'm going to do my second coat with a little finger sponge, and I'm just going to get rid of all my brush strokes and make sure there's a nice even layer of black. This part here helps with the illusion of this stone. It has like a funky optical illusion to it. So you want that center to be black, and you want to leave a lot of that glitter background to show off, right? You don't want to lose all of that you just made. So we just want a smaller circle in the center. And now I'm going to start in with some dots. So I'm using a larger dotting tool in my collection of dotting tools. And I'm starting off with white, top, bottom, left, and right. These dots are a little bit smaller than the center dot, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around those dots that I just put in with white, but I'm going to start fading into purple. So I'm going to be gradually adding a little bit of purple to my white and changing that purple into blue and then into teal. But we're going to be doing a lot of purple because I like purple. So we're adding a little bit of violet pansy, not very much. You can see the ratio of white to purple. It's not going to be very dark. We're barely changing the color, and we're going to do like an ombre effect with the purple. Okay, so we're starting off with white, and it's going to end up dark purple in a moment as we walk the dots. I'm going to be making the dots a little bit bigger as we go along. So you're going to see me switching dotting tools now and then and adding purple. So once you're done walking around those dots with that shade of purple, you add a little bit more purple, and you can see the very slight change in color, but you'll notice that change big time when we're done, because we're just going to kind of keep adding color and changing the color each step of the way. So make sure you get each one. There's 4 of them. Make sure you don't forget any. And then you mix your purple again, add more purple. I just did my starting dots there. That helps me remember that I don't forget any. You can see the gradual changing of that purple, and we're going to end up going straight purple at one point. Like, we're not going to have any white in that at all. It's going to be like pretty dark. And that's when you can start to add blue to the purple and turn the purple into blue. And then you can turn the blue into teal. And that's what we're going to do. I love doing this. So there's going to be purple, white, blue, teal, and green, shades of green, all on top of this sparkling gem of a stone. So it's going to look amazing, and I can't wait until you see the final outcome. Especially, we're making these dots. In the end, you'll see the dots are floating on top of that sparkling background. So when we resin it a second time, because we've already resined it once with the glitter, when we resin it a second time, those dots are floating on top of that glitter. So it's going to look kind of cool, and you're going to see that. If you're not using resin, you can still do this, but your surface won't be as smooth, of course, because there's nothing as smooth as resin. But you can definitely still do this when you seal it with whatever you decide to seal it with. You still can do the same process, and it'll still look beautiful, I promise. So you can see it's just getting darker and darker. And as I get closer, I walk up the dots up the side. They're getting smaller because I'm running out of paint. They kind of look like flower petals now, like dotted flower petals. And they're looking really cool. You might start seeing like a strange optical illusion. If you kind of like squint a little bit, it looks kind of cool. I can't explain what the optical illusion is, if there is one. I'm just making this up as I go, but when I was done with it, it looked kind of funky, and it made my eyes go weird. So it might do the same to you. It's fun, things you can do with dots, the illusions you can create in the colors and the shades, and where you put dark ones and where you put light ones. It really does change things up a lot. Now I'm going to be using silver as an accent on this one. It just kind of goes with the silver glitter. I don't usually use silver, but I will be today. So I'll show you that a little bit later. All I do is put a little dot of silver on top of any of the larger white dots. So I'm going to be adding to my darkest purple that we have created here. I'm adding a little bit of cerulean blue. So now we have like a really deep purplish blue. And now I'm on the very edge. I'm going onto the glitter now with this. So try and make sure that you're staying even with them, and try and make each petal, dotted petal, or whatever you want to call them, make them the same size approximately. So all of your blue should be on the edge, and maybe your circle of black isn't big enough to reach the blue, or you didn't do your purple dots small enough, and now your purple's on the glitter. That's fine. Just keep going and try and stay symmetrical with your dotted leaves or petals. I don't even know what to call them, but I've just added a little bit more cerulean blue, so it's going to start turning more blue than it is purple. And then eventually I'm going to add some teal to that blue, and then the blue is going to start lightening up to a nice lighter teal color. So you can just keep adding to the same color that you're using, and gradually it just keeps changing and changing. It's a lot of fun. I love doing ombre dots. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So now I've added a little bit more. I added a little bit of teal to it now. So you're going to see the blue lighten up just a tiny bit. And then the final one is going to be just pure teal. That's it. And that's going to be it for that part. Then we're going to do some green. I like the green. The lime green really brings out this whole different part of this flower. The way I look at it, as the purple and blue area is like the flower, and then the green dots are going to be kind of like the leaves. If you can just try to imagine with me. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of jungle green to my teal, so I can do one last row that's a little bit lighter. I needed it to be just a little bit lighter, so I added that jungle green to my teal, and that's going to be my final row. Now I'm satisfied. So we've gradually turned white into purple, into blue, into teal, all in one little part of the paint tray. I didn't have to mess up my whole paint tray. And all the dots, some of them are symmetrical, some of them are not, some of them don't look like dots at all. I don't want you to worry about that. Just try and stay along the same shape. That's all that matters. You can put more dots. You don't have to count your dots. They might not all be exactly the same, and that's okay. But just try and keep it symmetrical slightly, if you can. That way it goes a bit better with the illusion of it all. The illusion that I'm trying to show you. So we have that part. Now where we have kind of a center between each petal, I'm adding a white dot again, just like we did at the beginning. I need that bright white there again. My eyes want it. Now I'm starting with a fresh white puddle again, and I'm going to add a little drip of lime green. So we're going to do the same thing we did at the beginning with the purple, only this time we're doing green. So I'm only slightly changing the color, only slightly. You can barely tell that that's even green up against the white, but I promise you it has changed. And each time I'm just going to add a little bit more green, and then eventually we're going to add some bright green and some teal. So you're going to see that happen right before your eyes. Then my favorite part is the resin reveal. And you're going to see this gorgeousness covered in another coat of resin, and all the colors will pop off of that sparkling background, and this under the sun, I tell you, is like a dream. If you ever feel the need to calm down, just make something sparkly and look at it under the sun for 5 minutes. I promise you it will bring all your stress down and you will feel amazing. I think that's why I like glitter so much. I can stare at it for long periods of time. It helps my stress. It's part of my art therapy, honest to goodness. That's why there's so much glitter and gold and shine in my tutorials, is because it makes me happy. Happy. Now I'm doing a little bit more green, just a little bit. And these colors together are going to be fantastic. So I've done more lime green. I've done a few rows there. You can count the rows that I've done if that helps you. Just pause it and count how many rows I've done. And now I'm adding bright green, which you can't see because that part of the stone is not in front of us. But here you go. There you go. Bright green. Doing the same thing. Just making my greens change to a darker green. And then I'm going to be adding teal so that changes it as well. And it just kind of goes with the other part that has the blue and teal in it. Just kind of flows together, makes everything work well together. And this one actually didn't take too long. The only part that took a long time was the glitter being resined so that we have that glittery background to start off as our canvas. That was the longest part. This really didn't take that long. So pick colors that you love, and you can do it in your choice of colors, or you can do it like this. There's like a strange illusion to it. And I can't wait to show it to you resined. But first, I'm going to add my platinum. It's like a silver. It's the same brand as my Folkart Mayan Gold, only this is platinum. So I'm going to add a platinum dot to all of my larger white dots, and then we're going to leave it at that. The bottom is painted white. And I'm just going to leave it white. The glitter goes way down to the bottom anyway, but I'm going to just leave that white at the bottom. I'm not going to do anything else with it. Here's my toes. And here is how it looks after being resined. Look at that, you guys. That glitter background is amazing, and the dots are separate from it. Nothing is overpowering. It just kind of all goes really nicely together, and the glitter is awesome. All the links are going to be in the description as always, you guys. I love you. Thank you for being here for me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and keep painting. Bye, guys.